Hello guys, this is gonna be another OptiCode, some I guess casual 3D coding to go back to the good stuff. As I was absent for a long time, I was doing some Z80, some Coupe, Agon console, and a lot of other irrelevant with 3D stuff. And I also in the background, I'm trying to work on Bizaro Undergrund, and I'm trying to finish a big task that is necessary. Which, funnily enough, I I was working a bit. I have this technique now to go to the cafeteria with my laptop. I haven't done this before. I tried also the public library. I think the cafeteria works for me. The local cafeteria, just to escape from home and all the distractions, and where I work on at home on my hobby projects after my regular work, and then I'm like, I don't feel like, maybe I will play some video games or watch YouTube. But if you make it kind of works. Like, okay, take the laptop only with the project you want to work and go to the cafeteria and work. And it helped me a bit to gradually do some work already on that. Also, there is a lot of work, and the project is this one, the Bizaro Engine Underground PC port, the PC port. And there are two reasons for that. One, it will. I need to finish Bizarro Underground 3DO this year, hopefully. Hopefully, even by the summer, we'll see. And I thought it would help and accelerate to port the 3DO code and try to emulate some of the 3DO functions, just only the necessary, the minimal stuff. Make it run on PC so that it's easier to debug things and add things and so on. And the other reason I was thinking is that I could repurpose it for a level editor where I will move around the levels, and I will remove blocks or add blocks, and you know uh, start digging like it's some Minecraft thing, but only to create levels and then save them, and then load that thing and then add and remove blocks. And I might do some kind of thing like that with this one. So there are two goals, and I think if I finish that, it would accelerate my progress to start working on the actual game. Because now the way I was creating level was with some code that is digging some cylindrical areas or sphere areas and so on, and I would have to manually type them. But I think it will be much more fun to create environments like I was in Minecraft and I was building stuff. So there, and the other thing is, yeah, to develop it on the PC side. So I create this PC version, which from the 3DO code I copied common and game here. And also from the 3DO version, inside the CD I have the data, and I have the same ones. This is the music. I don't need the music. I just want to emulate the absolute necessary in this pawn. And the only difference is that these are the PC files, main and tiny FPS from an SDL project. So, but this is unfinished. It's not rendering anything from the game yet. If you run it, you are going to get that screen and the frame count and some noise. Okay, this is where so this is the main loop. I'm including SDL2, and it does the necessary. It goes through a loop. The quit is, I check the input, and if I press escape or close the window, I quit. So this is all SDL. It has nothing to do. And when you call main 3DO, See, these are SDL, and the tiny FPS is for the FPS counter, so that later I check the performance. If I start simulating the cell render and things will go hard, I will need to check the performance and improve things. And here I have the main 3DO. This is the main on this side. This is game main. So I called it main 3DO. And those are the 3DO function. I was initting the 3DO system in core, I think. Core init. And the core run takes a function pointer where I pass the run game from game C. And the run game is the main game loop. What's here? It's going to return. It might do the menu. If you change something on the menu, it will change the state to run the game update. And there is an end screen now for the level, and it's called and it's returned. And the core, see, I have commented out this because in the main 3DO this will go forever, and in the main 3DO, not in this one, in the other one, I would call core in it. I wouldn't check for core was in it, but now this one is in this SDL loop, so I had to change few things so that every time a frame is run in the 3DO side of things, it will continue, do the SDL update. This is going to take the 3DO screen. I'm not doing anything with that. I'm just doing some noise pattern to test the update. So this is going to be replaced where I will read the 3DO videoram and emulate. Maybe I will emulate a linear videoram now, even if the videoram of the 3DO is a zigzag videoram. And to keep things simple for now, I will do some basic cell rendering linearly, and I might change it later. Because if your game doesn't work with a physical frame buffer after rendering the cell, like do some software rendering extra or read the screen pixels, you could emulate the cells, you could make them render in a linear buffer, but behind the scenes the cell render in the real hardware will render in the zigzag format of the frame buffer, which is less common and can be tedious, but not so much. So I say here that for starters, to keep things simple, I might assume a linear videoram and not the zigzag style, and I might write some basic DrawCel. So what I have done, so this is on the 3DO, and I'm doing some stuff, but I don't emulate that stuff. I don't emulate everything. I'm not using the sport. Nobody's calling it. And so yesterday I had some crash on release because I never said that. But it's supposed that available memory will set that. But if you go to available memory, oh, it's even there. What the hell? I thought. Okay. I have funcs 3DO. This doesn't exist on the other side. This is also some exercise where I start emulating things. And that's the main thing I need to emulate. This is going to be big, and I might move it in another file because it's going to be its own. Now, today in the morning in the cafeteria, I started emulate because I had crashes. I just ran it. No, I just lazily copied all of that stuff on the PC port, made it compile. I copied a lot of structs from the Opera. I went in the 3DO dev and so on and searched for various stuff and copy a lot of structs from various headers. Only the ones that I needed. Only the ones that I needed. And I would various type def that I needed, like the core, which is basically I don't have it here. I must have it in another place. Ah yeah, this is the types 3DO. I just I started copying the relevant structs, the CCB. I needed the CCC for the load cell. I got this from the Opera. I copied some code. Those pixel chunk, blue chunks are for the load cell. Now you might have bitmap. These are a lot of stuff. The thing is, most of this stuff I don't bother. I just have them in the struct, but I don't use them. I use only the basic. So when I have a screen context, I cared about the bitmap, and here I only care about the width, height, and the buffer, because this is the frame buffer. This is the thing we have to read, and at the moment I do something lousy. So when I call create basic, this is a 3DO function. I pass the num screens and I just allocate the bitmaps. I pass the width and the height and I allocate the bitmap buffer. I don't touch anything else. Okay, I put the display time and nums, but I don't think I'm using those. So that was the idea, and I have a lot of empty stuff. Some of them I don't need to implement. Some of them I might implement the mouse with the SDL input. I might not need to implement unload cell, delete cell, because on PC we have a lot of memory and I just want to do a lousy port. I definitely need to implement this one, and this is gonna be a big project. Maybe I use this, maybe not. It shouldn't be hard. Some of them return damage. Today I implement the load cell, and I had to bother with the Indianness because the load cell loads the stuff. I load the whole file, and then I pass the parse cell. And this is code I got from the original, and I just make few changes. It's not big. The file format is not hard. Here in this project I don't define big endian. In the 3DO side you can see big endian here. I define big endian in the main. So here, since it's not defined, it's gonna, this value is gonna, I'm gonna call a macro that will flip it. Because previously I had serious mistakes with the loading, and I think now things load okay. But now this one is just moving the pointer to the next part where the cell data. It doesn't individually load the cell data. It just moves to the part, the chunk CCB, then it will move to the PDAT, which is the pixel data, and then the palette data. And here it might point to the start after it loads the file of the chunk on where is it? This is the struct of the that exists in the file, but those three are in the CCB, in the actual cell, are not used. So we skip it and we go but from here on it's the same. Some names are different, but it's basically the same structs, same sizes and so on. So you could just get the pointer, pass those things and start pointing to the CCB flags. And now if you pass this flag the way it is on the file, the way we load all the data, it's gonna be okay. But later I realized that all of these values, the pointer might be okay because it's pointer on the PC memory now. How about the flags? And this. That's the palette lookup point. Okay, those, I think the flags might. So we do have to do some work. I realized I managed to load the cell. And I have to go through the cell data and flip some stuff. I think I might need to do, and I was also confused at some point because I wasn't sure if I have to flip everything. And you will see now, if you run it, this is where we are now. It's a bit bigger because I'm streaming and I set the screen to a higher zoom so that maybe it's more visible. This is the data gem 0 cell. And I have copied the data. I only have cells. I don't need to write new function for the visibility and the 3D because these are my own structs that I know how I interpret it already in the code the way. Maybe I will. Okay, I will see if I do anything with. Oh, I see. Endianness. Yeah. Man, this Indian. Previously, I was wasting half an hour to understand some Indian. I know about the Indians, but there's something that confused me. And I was even capturing a video and scrapped it. And Gem 0, it might be the first that it load, and you might see when a cell when a file starts, a 3DO specific file, you have 4 bytes, and for the chunk you have the CCB, you have the plut, CCB plut pdat. That's what we use. I don't do anything with an im. I just try to emulate the absolute minimal. I'm not working with. I don't know what this format are. Most of the formats. So my goal here is to port the thing and just emulate the things I need. Now I had to do a flip here too, because this goes in the original 3DO Opera code, because it will put that stuff with a big endian. But even that one, I had to flip it for my case here, else it would miss the chunks and it would load nothing. Because obviously here it's going to get the chunk ID and compare it. Now I could have, as I read the chunk ID, I could have flipped it here thinking about. Yeah, that is a good idea. I could have done it here. As I did the same with the length. So I could have spared that one. What happened? So maybe I should keep it like this for the comparison. I could have kept the original and then go. Maybe that's the better thing to do. Everything we read from file we have to flip, and I could flip that one. I could do it directly. Now my macros can be tedious because can be dangerous because if you do that, you think, oh, I'm passing that to a function, but it's not. It's going to replace whatever is here, 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 here 4 times. So it's gonna put this kind of things, this kind of thing, 4 times there. But that might be okay. Maybe the compiler realizes it's the same value, so load it once. Normally I would do some constant and then use it. And macros can be a trap because I had to answer this case. I just say read that value, increase and flip it. But this would be copied 4 times, so it would increase the pointer 4 times and use different values. You know, so you have to be careful. And there is a code in. I use a macro here in OptiCode for my own WAD loader from PC WADs, where I have to do that, and I prefer to do a function because I got into trouble and I needed to read something and pass it and not have to put it in a separate variable and do it again because there were a lot of them. And yeah, I guess you also call a function for each of them, so it could be tiny a bit slower, but since you are loading stuff, it doesn't matter much there. Also, I never benchmark it. Anyway, but here we are on PC and we don't care about that. Just be careful if you have something else. So I want to see. I realize now that I should have not flipped the signature bytes there. I should flip the value I read from the because it makes kinda more logical sense. And now here. And I messed my mind with some of the. Is it okay? It did load it, okay. Now here's the thing. I have loaded the cell, but it loads. This one will get. This is on the C side. Will get the size of the file. Will malloc a buffer. Will read from the file. Will read the whole file and then we'll give it to the parcel, which is going to do its own. But it doesn't individually handle the cell. It just goes to the next channel and says, okay, that's a pointer that points to the cell data, to the cell structure and cell data. So point it to there. We know that it doesn't. It's only few of the values. Some pointer to the next cell it might alter. But that's okay. The pointers are. These are not data from the file. These are data after. Yeah, like the source pointer, next pointer. It just goes to the offset where the pixel starts on the chunk and gets the pointer. And this happens on the PC, so it's gonna be an address on the PC. So I'm not emulating the 3D of RAM. I will only emulate the videoram, but only by returning the buffer. So it doesn't matter. It's not from the. You don't care about the pointer, but I thought you care about the rest, and I wasn't sure for a long while. So here I just got the data the way they are. I have my cell struct. these are pointed on the PC, it doesn't matter. This is fine, there's no, it's a single cell. Maybe the flank 0, but I don't know the interpretation right now. And I think all of them are wrong. And you're not sure, but you can see it here. This should hold the width and the height of the cell. And if I bring that back, I'm going through some cell data from the address on xpost to HDDC. I loop, I get the value and flip it and put it back. And I do the same for the width and the height, but maybe it's not. And previously I was a bit confused of how to think around endianness. I will tell you why. I've noticed that these values previously were not exactly correct. See, 1616. Now this value, what is this value? Is the standard scales, this is 0, 0 for the position of the, and this is horizontal vector. Horizontal is this big value and vertical is this value, and I know that this one, the default value should be that for scale, and this one should be that for the vertical, and those values are that. One shifted 16 is 65,000, and this is 1 million something, which is the 120. So I think they are correct, but I was confused previously because I wasn't sure. When I work with that stuff, regardless if I'm in little endianness or big endianness, I'm thinking in bits. If you think in bits, it's always left to right. If you think in some bit representation for your flags, for example, for anything, you think like that. If you think in real numbers, you know, the width and height not being 16 but being something big, it meant that I had to flip for the endianness, from big endianness of the 3DO to the little endianness on the PC. So I see, okay, it makes logical sense, but I wasn't necessarily sure about it because I was thinking that no matter if you work in little or big endianness, when you think in bits and you say, okay, I want to change the 31th bit, you do some shift 31. You don't think, oh, the bit is on the other side. It's a different thing. It's about the bytes first of all. The endianness is about the bytes, and it has to do with if you read from a file that is stored in big endianness, you're gonna get the wrong results. So because on the, yeah, that confused me, and I was there stuck for several meetings talking to myself, and so I scrapped the previous recording. But I think that's it, and not only that, because if you think on bit flags and fixed point, at first you think I shouldn't care about the endianness here because it's not some physical number, but then, oh, but I'm thinking the same way when I work with bit flags, regardless of the endianness. So why is it different? Why did I have to? Even those fixed point numbers, why are they correct after I flip them? No, those, and I think even the flags might be. Because you read the file, and the 32-bit value, the way it was stored on the 3DO, it was big endian. So if you read it on PC, you have to flip the bytes after, but then the bits are going to come in the right positions for the pure bit flag, pure fixed point interpretation, where you don't have to think about endianness. Anyway, yeah, I was confused. I wasn't sure. I was looking at this, and I'm like, should I only flip those? Should I not care about this because there are some fixed point representation or something? And how about it? I definitely should not. No, I think you should do everything. Everything, the flags, except the pointers. You don't do that because these are malloc on PC here. Now, if these were pointers that somehow they were stored in the file, but they are not stored, because these are allocated later on the 3DO and we allocate them on PC, then you should worry. If there is another format where I think if you have a special cell that it stores something else in the pointer, maybe a relative offset or so. Yeah, see, but I think now I should go from here is a gap of this to this. I'm looking through all of the pointers. I got the addresses. Previously I did something like that and it was a mistake. Because I took the value, not the pointer address. It happens that the way these are loaded, it's a struct, you know, these are in a sequence in memory and everything is, even this code, it's all 32-bit words. I worried a bit that those one are signed integers, where the sign matters, and it's always the 31-bit. But I think if you read them and flip things because of the endianness, then it will come at a good place. And I previously thought that I shouldn't worry about the flags because these are bit flags and it's not some physical number, but no. The thing is, when you work with the flags, you work in a way, but when you store them and read them later on PC, it's going to, you have to. And if you store them back by flipping, the bits are gonna be in the position you want them. So I was in a dilemma, but now I'm pretty certain that you have to do it with everything. Yeah, I do this here to not repeat myself, and the rest are at a distance, so I don't want to touch those. Now I could make a loop for those, but it's just two. Oh, but if I do CCP pre 1 and then see, I did only that, and there was a gap. Yeah, okay. If I do that, I can simply move it all the way to the. So we're doing all of them. Everything is 32-bit word, and there's a gap, and this one is alone. Okay, that's even better. So you do the flags, and maybe I can do the flags first, because it doesn't matter. Just comes earlier. And now those bits are flipped. Yeah, those numbers might make sense. They are smaller for that. Huh, maybe was it the pixie? Let's see the interpretation of the pixie. Yes! 1F00, 1F00. This is a very standard. I think that's the opaque, the code for the opaque cell. upper and lower. So previously it would be something wrong. And see, now you have the cell 1616. Gem 1 cell, Gem 2 cell. Gem 3 cell might be different. It's 32 by 32. It's a bigger one. I think it's the 3DO. It's that one with the 3 gems. And it continues. Menu screen. This is gonna be big. 320 by 240. There. And those get bit flags that will correspond to this width height and also the color bit depth, if it's compressed or not. So the data, I think this screen is compressed. Those have very regular sizes. This one is 27. How compressed is that thing? Maybe it is. Because this is supposed to be 320 by 200. (16-bit) color. This should have been 153 600 bytes, and it's much smaller because it's compressed. I think the others might not be compressed. I have a lot of small cells here. So much later we have to interpret, but most of them are uncompressed, so I'll see what I do. So now if it finishes the loading all the cell, it has loaded all the cell, but we are not rendering anything yet. So let's see. And that's where we are now. I think now I have converted everything. See, if you port something from 3DO, unfortunately, there is a lot of pain with the Indianness. There is more. But I think now it's correct. And there will be a lot of stuff too. Right now, the SDL input is here. It just key down SDL key escape to quit or close the. I will have to map some keys. Maybe I could even map the Xbox controller I have. I haven't done any game controller with SDL. It shouldn't be hard. And I might map some keys for now to the 3DO keys. I will see how I will do it. Because on the 3DO side, I have the inputs. And this supposedly run, but nothing is happening with that. See, I have commented parts out because, control pad event. These are also structs I haven't moved. Get control pad, 3DO function I could emulate. I could emulate it, or I could do some lazy work. I don't even use mouse for the Bizaro Untergrund, but the code is there. So there are still a lot of sections that happen to call 3DO function that I haven't emulated, and I just commented like, I'm just going to make the port display something. Start in the game, even if I cannot control it. Start in the menu and then in the game. So, and there is a lot of work, but I think I'm moving well, because I hope to finish this soon enough. So the whole game loop works, you just don't see anything. And now, what I have done is on the main, after the main loop and everything, something must have rendered in the 3DO, in those buffers, bitmap buffers and so on. So my 3DO screen will render something with some scale up so that it's not small, because I think it's in the main. Here I have a scale. If I put scale 1, this one 320 by 240. This is the one that the 3DO uses, and this is the SDL screen width and height. You're gonna have a tiny screen and a big frame buffer. Yeah, I could reduce the scale of the. It's drawn later. It's not drawn on the 3DO screen. It's drawn on the SDL screen in a later place. So it doesn't. It's not scaled up by the rendering of the main screen, which is fine. I don't care. So that's why I put 4, so that I can have a big look. And now the 320 240 scaled 4 times, so these pixels are made out of 4x4 pixels. And right now, in the main loop, after everything, I want to render the 3D screen. But and I'm having this. I was a bit lazy. I created this pointer, and somewhere else I extern it. So in the system graphics, see, I have commented out stuff, the do I off the clear buffer, and because I don't emulate it, some of it, if I ever need to do that, I will just do a memset in the frame buffer and so on. I'm going to high level emulate some stuff, like I do here. Because I'm not going to emulate all these weird structs, item, and whatever. Because I don't want to do a full Opera emulation. Even though that could be an interesting project in the future. If you start adding up, and I could release that stuff for someone to port their 3DO project on PC to test and also easily do, work on PC and copy stuff on 3DO and back. Who knows? Maybe when I release Bizaro Undergrund, I will also release a PC version, even a higher resolution version, like a real PC game. And so VCing, wait, these are 3DO. I said, okay, don't bother with that. Just get. I have on main. I have a lousy VSync, which is not even a VSync. It's if VSync, wait, SDL get things minus time things, blah blah. This is gonna lock it at around 50. I have this loud now. I will remove it when I want to test the performance of cell rendering. So now, what else I wanted to say? I forgot. Oh, system graphics. So I use to call the display screen again a 3DO. It was taking this screen either. I don't even emulate them. The only thing I emulated is the screen bitmaps. And now temporary here, I just put up the screen pointer, which that extern pointer just copies the current. These are the one I allocated, and this is where we will go. On the 3DO side, this is where we will work. So my DrawCels function have to draw in the current screen page. And the beam buffer finally give us the the byte pointer. Okay, I converted to 16-bit because it's 16-bit per pixel. I prefer to go right. But this one now, I don't know if we ever render anything here. I just don't. Could it only be the stars? I might render the stars with software rendering of the frame buffer before rendering the cells. But most of the other cells we have to emulate the DrawCels. Now, so when the render 3D screen is, I get the thing SSL, but I don't do anything with that. And if we were to do something, now I have to emulate the zigzag videoram. But for now, I'm going to do this and see if there are garbage. And I'm going to have to, okay. We're going to have some lousy arithmetic. Normally you would do it like the GB. And after that, which makes me think if I can I think it will be fast. So supposedly it's doing it. Okay, uint32. Just call it like this, I don't know. I think PCs are so fast. Yeah. Let's try. Yeah, it does something there. So, but because we don't render anything yet, and then maybe it's premature, but I'm just curious. I'm going to put that false. Although PCs are so fast, I build the release now. Are so fast. I'm doing all these copy pixels. Oh. Oh, what the antivirus? I think this is a false alarm. Hey, it went. I think this is a first time I see it. my god. This is not... Are you sure? I'm just building that. I can't believe it now. We are gonna... This is the false alarm. Okay, this is something I just built. It cannot have... I haven't seen that before. Why is it... I don't want to waste time with that. Is there some online virus scanners? Well, I don't want to go to some... No, I don't want to go to random. I mean, this is AVG. I'm gonna check this. I don't think this is bullshit. I don't want to go. Is this I never thought about that. Installation required. To easily check. I'm now... I remember there was some online where you could upload one file. Because I'm not gonna install other antivirus. I will consider that this is false alarm because I've seen that. I've seen that working, not in my computer, even at work. Working on a thing and the antivirus say, oh, this file is suspicious or something. Could it be? It doesn't matter. Could it be the version of SDL? No, I don't think. Could SDL? I think this is bullshit and all I have to say. I mean, this is not. This is something I built. So I have to this is, it says turn on, so it's off. Asshole. I don't think this is, I'm doing a live stream. Live, it's not live, I'm doing a stream. And it just, I hate this false alarm. I don't think it's, I just built it. Is it possible that a virus will occupy Visual Studio and while you build it? This is one of the usual things where you build something, we had it at work, like, and then the antivirus was blocking it because of a false positive. And I'm like, I'm building that. This is not something I downloaded from somewhere else. I'm gonna leave it at that. Now this is another, oh my god, I lost time now. So let's see, we are on release. And that simple copy does what? Okay, it's pretty fast. I'm not gonna bother with that. I was thinking that I'm shifting right and left. I was, oh yeah, you still have to minify it. But no, this yeah, I was thinking that how fast is that? Oh yeah, you can't know because it's the frame rate. It's already 9. It doesn't matter. Okay, I will not bother. There is another way where, you know, if you have that, why shift it there and then shift it back higher? But you also have to end 31 because if there are other bits, you have to kill them. Whatever. Okay, you can shift them there and then end with, say, something to kill the bits. Anyway, but it doesn't matter because you're already, I'm doing this for many pixels and it's already on release mode, like insanely fast. So why even bother? My premature optimization. It's just that things I notice, and not even on debug it's pretty fast. Anyway, but see, I switched to. Why is there a turn on already? Anyway, I will work on debug. I shouldn't have lost time now, because now I was disoriented by that crap. And first time I build the release and see that. I think after I finish, I'll run a antivirus and just to make sure. I will see because I have so many files. Because I end up not having antivirus in my computer except the. Because man, they slow down your computer. I cannot work with this situation. Or you try to do something and it throws you. Oh, this is quarantine. You cannot delete it executable files. I hate it. So I don't think I have an Avira or AVG or something. I really, and there were cases where I thought something was wrong with my computer, where I started searching that evening. Search Avira, AVG, I don't know, whatever. Everything has its problems. I installed it, I let it work for hours to make sure I'm not infected, and then I uninstall it. That's how I work with antiviruses. It's weird. The normal thing would be that you have now. This is the Microsoft one. This is the one that is always there, I guess. So why are we adding on top another one? I don't know. So I don't think when I build the file. Why is that crashing? That's not. Yeah, the real is there. It's not crashing. I just copied it outside to check it. This file shouldn't exist. Yeah. Because the data folder is outside, but the binary is inside. If I wanted to check it outside of Visual Studio, I had to copy. Yeah, I know. I have to improve my working process. Anyway, so I want to check something. Forget about that. Because I will have to do something with the cell now. And I don't know if I will finish today. So if I run the 3D version right now, I'm running it overclock, by the way, again, because it takes time to load. Okay, start here. Now the stars are not visible. You have to rotate to see the star, and only if the stars are... Oh, okay, maybe the stars are still rendered. Are the stars still rendered? Can I see that? Yes, they're still rendered. Perfect. That's great. Yeah, even if you don't look, they are rendered because I'm in this room and that thing is visible. So we don't... It's only... I press the flight mode now. If you go far away, where that outside room is not visible, it's only that they are not rendered. You know, I have these bugs where if you go close, doesn't render, but the stars are not rendered. Only the necessary is rendered. See, here is this threshold. Blank, the stars are rendered. Because suppose that from this side, maybe you can see that side. And, but I don't have input yet, so... Oh, but the stars are rendered. If I put level... is it level 2? Level 1, man, I don't remember. Yeah, there are stars here, and even here they must be rendered, okay. But even if where I am, it's okay, good, good. Because I remember the stars are the only thing that is rendered in software. But, oh, it's rendered in the zigzag videoram before everything else. I think at least. I think I don't render it as an individual cells, but yeah. So if you want to see anything before I replace DrawCels, I could simply hack it. We don't have even a menu, okay? I could hack the menu. I think I've done it before. How have I hacked it? If start is pressed or A. Okay, if we are on menu. Item start. The default options, I hope. So if I become a bit clever, a bit junky, this will move from the menu, because I don't have the input yet, to the game, and it will start rendering stuff. It will move to the default values, which is 000. Level 0 and so on. So we would be able to see a random. It's not going to be correct, And yeah, we see some junk. Why are they so regular? This could be the stars. But why? Oh! These are the loading. These are the loading bars, man. These ones are the loading bars. These are the stars, possibly. But they are all in the wrong position. What? Why are they? Interesting. So if this is, we are going to force it. If we set the level to be 2, or was it 3? Now, where in the bars? I don't know why you get stars only here. You don't get, you get some point. That could be stars. Or why are they there? I know it's wrong. Where in the bars? White. So maybe the color interpretation is wrong. Shift C. But is it 555? Yeah, I'm surprised those are. We haven't done the proper interpretation there. What if we did, just as a fast test? And by the way, I was going to do something with the same. Maybe I won't do it today. I will not do it today. Sorry, you might not see. We'll see. Unfortunately. I'm lost. I have to finish that fast. Ah. Is it, which of them is it? Oh, world grid map. It's not that. It's not even that. Where the hell is it? Hold on a minute. Yeah, I don't want to delay myself here. I have to search fast. I don't want to make this a slow fest. It already is. Engine grid map, okay. Draw horizontal thick line. 0x F7 FFF. So if you go system graphics, you know, these are the three, you see draw pixel, draw thick pixel. If you search for draw pixel, so these are the only functions that will, okay. I don't use it anywhere else. Yeah, but if you go to the engine, maybe, is it the main? Render transformed. That's the only one. This is gonna render the cells. Prepared for the. This is the only one for the stars where I'm doing the software rendering for the stars in the background, isn't it? I get the videoram buffer. Now, of course, this works on the zigzag. Okay, if this is the real coordinates, the zigzag is that. So that could be the formula for the zigzag. Yeah, I have written that. I just cannot think it much now. That's the one thing. And then the draw horizontal thick line, I use it to update. And I'm doing the same. Bitmaps JBM buffer. That could be outside, but it's just the loading bar. It didn't matter at the time. You could have it to make it a bit faster. Yeah. My premature optimization. I'm gonna say that a lot. So I do put thought that sometimes I see something say, I could put that outside. Why not put a constant outside? Since this is gonna repeat. There is no point. It might be easier to read too. Yeah, it's that part that it doesn't matter. It's not in the central game. It's not making the loading slower. But it's good if it's an easy thing. I mean, I don't know. See, I'm just going around. I forgot on main. Okay, maybe I can make a lazy thing now, just to see it. And instead of doing source, you will say, okay, int offset something is. Oh my, I move with the scale and then ugh. Fine. You could do it the other way around, move from XY to regular, not to say STL screen height, to the regular, and then, yeah. Because now I cannot get X and Y for the physical coordinates, but fine, I can do. Oh, okay, it's screen scale. Okay, when this is 4, it's fine, it's because it's gonna be a shift. Yeah, I could write it the other. I don't know which one is better. So I don't have to do that. I look through the physical, no, the 3D coordinates, and then I scale up and do this extra IJ loop to write 4x4 pixels, let's say. Then x and y would be enough, but now I'll get px and py, which is fine here. Wait, what am I? Oh, okay, yeah, because the videoram is the zigzag version. And hopefully this works. Why not const everything? And the difference is now you have to do this is the 16 bits. Yes, plus offset. We already. That should. Yeah, it's better. Okay, I see them there. Okay. These are the loading bars. See, those stars are like they haven't expanded. So something flattened them. So a lot of things in the 3D engine are wrong. Maybe my matrix calculations, maybe. Okay. But this is emulating the, and you know, even if I do this whole thing, these are minimal for the PC. You run it on release and you're gonna get that. See, even if, shut the fuck up. Even if you do that, frame rate is killing it. It's fine, you can do the zigzag thing. But the thing is, when I write the cell render, I will have to do the zigzag. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna walk into physical XY and calculate the offset. These are minimal, come on, it's a shift and an end. And now this is 3 to end, so it's not. But muls are cheap, or multiply by 640. Yeah, who cares? My RPCs are so fast that. And you are doing this only for 320 by 240. This is before it's the same values used to scale up. So I shouldn't worry about that. So all this thing I say, okay, I'm emulating the fast. Now I'm emulating the real videoram. That's fine. Now why though? Where I get this value and this value. This is the value I used there. This value is this is all the bits on. So if you shift that by 10, 5, yeah, 5, 10, 5 here, 3 and 2 here. If you shift that by 5, you have that, 32, 31. Oh yeah, of course. I'm an idiot. Because we are in 250. Yeah. You have to shift the values. This is 0 to 31 by 3 multiplied by 8. I didn't do the conversion for the 24-bit mode. And now we have it. The stars are. They used to be stars, now there are no stars. Why are there no stars? Now the stars are wrong one. Ah, okay. Oh, I know. That gives me an idea. I'm running on debug mode. Oh, first of all, how is the frame rate? 7, okay, don't worry. Also, I'm shifting back 3. I could shift here by 19 and so on, and it would be the same, but let's write it formally. Let's not micro-optimize. Yeah, here are the... Okay, that gives me a clue that something possibly not initialized in a release and debug mode. So it has a certain value in debug. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So it's not gonna work. Oh man. Okay, we have emulated. I'm wondering if I should continue that tomorrow. Because my goal was to... We emulated the 3D of videoram. You are not gonna see anything. Now, so what is my goal? When I have loaded the cells, my first what are my first okay load cell must be working fine, but I have to test it. My first draw cells will do that. Will try to read the bitmap, will try to interpret it. I might have to copy uh, my code that would actually I had code that would pack a cell. I don't have the opposite that will interpret a packed cell, but most of the cells are not packed anyway. So I will do the unpacked. I will check the bit depth. I will write a few functions that draw the cells without any scaling. Just the simplest form, so that I start seeing something. And possibly, if I do that, I'm going to guys, this is I'm going to see something like that. Or my first attempt would be like, am I doing that? Do I have a video where I thought I had. Here are the stars and their correct positions. Yeah. So when I finish this, if I don't scale, I'm gonna have something like that, but I will know that my game is running. That the cells are loaded. And then I will have to, that was my goal, that if I do this, for first step, I'm going to interpret the cells, draw them in their physical form, without any scaling. And then I will see that. Then I know that it works, and I can continue. But I see that the stars, so maybe the matrix multiplications or something, are not. I see that the stars are gathered all together, they are not spread. So something went wrong with the projection or... And since on release mode you don't even see them, on debug mode they are here, probably there is something I haven't initialized, something more I haven't initialized. Maybe on the matrices or... But the bars are fine, but you don't see them loading, of course, because it goes so fast that it went like, you know. Okay, I think I already emulate the 3DO videoram with the zigzag style without even thinking, taking the same code that maps the logical coordinates to the videoram options. But work has to be done to do the DrawCels. Maybe I'll finish that. Maybe it's an introduction of where I am and what I work, and maybe you have learned some stuff about 3DO and how I'm trying to port things and yeah, I'm glad I'm struggling with this, even with visits to the cafeteria with my laptop. Anyway, I need to see that antivirus thing because it makes me nervous. But I have been building stuff. I have, even in the release mode, I have been building that days ago, and I wasn't getting that. Why now? Oh, hold on a minute. I don't think it's that, but I changed something. Yeah. Now that used to be 02. For some reason, at some point I changed it to O. I also have 64 version, but no, 64 isn't. It used to be 02. I don't know if 0x or 02 is better. Because previously I had a crash on the release mode, but for another reason, and I told you the reason. I thought maybe it was the optimization, so I was playing with that. But days ago, when I was building the release, even here, I wasn't doing it just in my laptop. I would commit and then get it here and do some changes. I mean, it doesn't matter, O2 or X at this point. Real-time protection, okay, on. Clear this. Still does it, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna close it. There's something with the, not with SD. I don't think it's SDL. You need a x86. Is this the same? Okay, that's janky now. Because I have a later version of SDL2 on my laptop. I should update this one too. It's been a long. Because you know I installed SDL2 later in my laptop, so it's the newer version. And I have the different DLL now. Let's see. Yeah, this video has ended. Let's run an empty thing and see what it does. Why? Why do I have code that? What the hell? Ah! I had something, some janky thing here. It's called VGA now. This is an empty framework for some other thing I wanted to try. and it again puts a lot of these placeholders. Like one day I wake up and say, oh, I want to do a new ray tracer. My goal with this was to try to do, that's not a 3D thing, that was on PC, and maybe for some DOS for the 486 or something. 386, 486, depending. I wanted to see if I did a fixed point ray tracer from scratch. But I never started with this project. Okay, that's the release. Okay, it runs. I'm gonna search later. There is a false positive. That, for example, that has more stuff. Something is going off. I don't think it's an actual virus that attaches only to that project. Maybe some other DLL binary attach some kind of thing, and I have infected my computer. We are on release. Release 6. Okay. Could it be the release? Oh man, it's not gonna run. So. Because I'm running an x86 there. Okay, that's another reason. Because yeah, I'm a bit janky. Oh, okay. Don't try this one here. Actually, I'm sorry about that. I should finish it, but I'm just curious. The project I haven't. Okay, I should make my framework in another way, because now I copy the SDL there, but oh god, do I have it already open? Am I? Okay, it's that one. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's build it for x64. Hopefully it builds. There might be some warnings. Now if you run it, yeah, it crashes, of course, because it's not that. It crashes because I think because you have to copy this x64 SDL. Yeah, obviously I have to put some projects. Maybe put the data inside the binary and the execution there, and or make x86 and x64. Yeah, I don't. Oh god, I don't know, but I don't know. This project is not supposed. Maybe my Indian thinks it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to. So okay, I can test my hypothesis. Okay, maybe test it with something simple. The other one, the simple one. This one, that is very simple. Close that one. This is making mana. Because I was working with not just that, other things like... is this on x86? That's already on x86. And not on x64. What? Wait, how does it build with... Maybe because it's doing basic stuff. This is from the X. Oh, I see. Okay, I have set up this project to run from inside. Or not. Okay. I stop. I wanted to see, is the antivirus only does it for this? Because I never got this. I have been working with a lot of Visual Studio projects and this never happened. It only happened today with that one. This kind of junk only happened with this one. That my antivirus is... What the fuck is this now? False positive. God, I hate antivirus. Okay, guys, I stop. It's over. It's over. I'll check that later. Bye.